G'day and welcome to What Happens in the Shed. Right, well in this video I'm going to be making some bench dogs and a drilling guide. Let's have a look. This is my mobile workbench. So the front half is predominantly for metalworking. Come around the back. And the back half is predominantly for woodworking and a bit of metalworking as well. So this is my woodworking vise. It's already got a couple of holes for the bench dogs. These sort of vices, they're sold all over the world. This one here I bought from Hare & Forbes. The jaws are made out of Quila. Rightio, first up I want to drill some holes in the bench top for the bench dogs. Now I want these holes to be absolute square in relation to the bench top. Now the holes I drilled here, I did them on the drill press and I used a 19mm spade bit. So what I really need here, I guess, is some sort of drilling guide. So yeah, I think we'll start with that. So I'm just going to have a bit of a scrounge around, see what we got, and I'll scrap bits and pieces. Oh yeah, I've got some round bar here, I'll need that, and I need a base. Too small maybe. I've got these things, they're left over from the gasifier. I think I can use that. Alright, let's start with that. So what the idea here is, I'm going to have some sort of base, obviously a bigger hole, and then the drill bit comes down through here, through like a bushing, and an adapter sleeve. I don't think that's going to be big enough, so I think that's probably the go. So that's the middle bit done. That's going to go somewhere around here. So I reckon I'll make a start on the adapter sleeve. Alright, so that's 7mm, but that is, yeah, that's too tight. So, oh come on, get out of there. So I'll have to go to 7.5. There'll be a bit of a play in this, but that's going to have to do. Oh yeah, that's spot on. And there's a bit of movement, probably more than I really wanted, but it's either too tight or this. Get this thing back in and we should be in business. So that dot marks roughly where I want it, the hole that is. There we go. That should be spot on. I think the hole still ended up going a little bit to the left. Yeah, have a look at the drill bit, just by, I reckon, 1/2 mil or something like that. I guess that's what you get from starting a hole with a twist drill bit.
the welding magnet.
This is getting bigger than Ben-Hur. There we go, it's ready for the first weld. I reckon, yeah, this is probably the most complex clamp down I've done so far. I can hardly get to it.
I'll put this back in, and the drill bit back in, there we go. I'll spin the whole thing around, like so.
There she goes. Alright, we'll check it for squareness and then I'll fully weld it. So obviously there's a bit of wriggle room there. We're looking at a couple of degrees. That's pretty good. That's pretty close. Alright, I'm going to have to be happy with that. I've really clamped this thing down. I've come this far, so I don't want this thing distorting. Rightio, here we are. So it's been painted, so it's all looking shiny and new. This tap M6 hole here, that's just for the grub screw, which I shortened quite a bit. It's just a socket cap head screw. And yeah, that's just there to hold the adapter sleeve in place. Here's the adapter sleeve, and this one here is 7.5mm. So that's specifically for spade bits. So there you go. That's yeah, that's pretty much my drilling guide. So the spade bit just goes in there like so, and that's it. So I thought I'd also drill a couple of holes for bench dogs in the vise jaws. And that's just so, you know, when you plonk a piece of timber in the vise, you just whack a couple of bench dogs in and you just plonk it down and it'll rest on the bench dogs. So you don't have to stuff around with leveling the timber while tightening the vise. Wow, that's got to be pretty close to spot on. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So you're probably wondering, why don't I just part these off on the lathe? I mean, I've got a parting off tool in the tool stock. Well, the issue is I've got a bit of a chatter problem. Well, the lathe's got a chatter problem, not so much me. So I've got a bit of play in the cross line. So I think I'll need to pull it to bits and maybe tighten up or shorten the lead screw nut. Anyway, that's for another day. Well, there you have it. That's the bench dogs done. Yeah, they haven't turned out too bad for what they are. Just mild steel, cheap and cheerful. Yeah, not bad. Now, I'm not a dedicated woodworker by any means. However, there's always something to be made, something to be repaired, or something to be modified. So having a little setup like this, it really helps a lot. It really improves your workflow efficiencies, which mean you've got time for more, you can do more jobs, and ultimately you can sort of start moving towards more advanced jobs, which is what I like to do. Yeah, so for that, a little setup like this, yeah, I think it'll be very helpful. Rightio, well before we wrap this up, let's have a quick look at it. I'll wind a couple of these in, just like that. This is a Biff Cutter Queeler. Beautiful, you've got nice access all around it. Man, that's just going to make life so much easier. Or you can go like this, if it doesn't need clamping down, but it just needs to be held in position, like that. Or let's say you were to do something along the lines of this. If you were working diagonally across the piece. But here's my favourite, and I reckon I'm going to use this a fair bit. One in there, one in there. You just come along, you just plonk it straight on without even thinking about it. That's it. It's on there, nice and level, even without trying. And here we go. How good is that? Should have done this years ago. Happy days.